Hello, Libra. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. Okay, Libra, so looking at your first week of December, you pulled reason, faith, and envious gluttony. There is a hunger within you for something to change. And I think it's something that has caused you to lose faith. And there's a need to think clearly and reasonably about the difficult situations you may be facing, because there is a definite hunger for something different. So, reason is talking about how it's time for you to think clearly and think through the details of a dilemma. It's using clarity for your soul's highest purpose. And it's also talking about how there may be a fear of things not being that easy. It's like if you get really good advice and it just seems too simple, it's almost like a rejection of that, but really it can be, right? So needing to clear the mind away from the focus of needing something to change, this hunger that's driving you for something different, right? So faith, this one was powerful too. It says, many predicaments cause us to question our faith, leading to feelings of injustice and victimization when life does not always reward our best endeavors. It says the presence of this card beckons you to remember the bigger picture by exercising faith in the face of adversity. Reflect on times you have previously lacked faith and found precious gifts hidden within the obstacles. And it talks about you being rewarded for your faith. But I can feel it in my gut with this. I need something to change now, and it may be altering your ability to think clearly through, like, not just what you're facing, but any other small things that may pop up. It may be hard to focus on finding the easy solutions that are there because there's something that has caused you to feel like your faith has been lost, right? So envious gluttony, going to the edge of the ravine, savoring the idea of letting go all restraint. It says there is a hunger sleeping just under the surface, like an animal lurking. So it's not about, you being envious or anything like that, but it's this drive, this hunger that may be causing you to think irrationally. But, my question then is, how deep is this situation that I can feel it in the pit of my own gut just looking at it, If you're losing faith in things changing for you, that may be because of this constant drive and this hunger to see something different. It may be causing you to shift, your focus, your energy, and your vibration in a way that is not helping the manifestation that you're wanting to see. But that, that's easy to say. But when you have lost faith, that can be severely detrimental. How the hell are you supposed to think clearly when you have no faith in what is going on, right? So what I feel like, the universe is trying to tell you here is just let go of that hunger and that drive and give yourself a break from that kind of feeling if that is what you're going through, right? But I understand where it's coming from. Like, I need this to change. I'm tired of not having this faith that things are going to get better. And obviously, that's not going to be for all of you. So, your overall, the Ace of Swords, truth and clarity, a new beginning in truth and clarity. And, right, with reason, again, being able to think clearly. But I think that for you, this is things being cleared up in such a way where you're able to speak truth. And it creates this whole new beginning for you. But, we'll see how this is playing out. In the past, the Four of Pentacles, so holding on, not wanting to let go. not wanting to give, holding on to what is important to you. You know, it's funny because the Four of Pentacles, right, there's always this message of you can't cling to things, right? But this recently has been talking to me about like hanging on to what integrity we have left sometimes in difficult situations. Now, you may have been withholding something, but with the Ace of Swords, you know, there's this, let me just explain this so that you understand why I'm not willing to give anything. That's what this feels like. In the present, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so there, I think for you, coming out of the past is this feeling of, this is what I have, it's important to me, I am not letting it go, and I'm doing this for a reason, because there is something in the present moment that you are wanting to put your effort into. This is you working on something, laying out some plans, you know, working through some details on something. It could be you working with someone or a group of people, you know, we'll see what's happening here. But I have to hold on to what I have in order for me to be able to put my focus into what I'm wanting to work on. Future conditions, the Wheel of Fortune, interesting. Okay, so this is the cycle, right? Like I look at this and I see the cycle that we go through in its totality. But this point specifically is saying that things are starting to turn into a more favorable situation. But this is the pattern that we repeat. But this is the opportunity to break that. And there may be this clarity that's coming through. It's almost like you keep holding on to certain things along with what is important to you or what you feel like you have left, but it keeps driving you to put in the same type of effort. And this may be what is happening in the present moment, and that's where this clarity and this new beginning, this new opportunity is coming in for you, for the cycle to change for good, right? And for you to finally have the clarity that you have been wanting. But this is really good to see. This to me is like, you know, there are times where we just feel like we can't escape the cycles that we go through. But when you see the Wheel of Fortune start to pop up, that's where it's like, okay, I'm still within the cycle, but there's an opportunity for things to get better. Your best path to follow, the Eight of Wands. This one to me, it's not that there's something urgent happening, but there's an urgency to it when it's your advice. It's like needing to act quickly. If things start to move quickly or start to change quickly, are you going to be able to adjust and follow that energy? Because it's things going where they are meant to go, everything hitting its target, things going in the right direction, but it happening very quickly. And, you know, this is like, as soon as you get this clarity and you see how things have been repeating, right, act immediately. Do something. Something has to be done immediately for things to get back on track for you, where you're not continuously kind of like putting in this effort that just keeps you within the same cycle. You know, and I say that because you're holding on to something coming through with this. Oh yeah, okay. In your environment, the moon, and this is what I'm talking about, right? It's like you keep putting in this effort based on what you are holding on to, not just what's important to you, but what you have been left with from past situations. You're bringing it through, and it's creating this kind of like confusion on what you are actually putting your time and effort into. Now, if we're talking about you hanging on to something and wanting to see it to continue to work, there isn't a whole lot of clarity on what we're working toward. And that's not just you, it's you and the people that are involved with you because of the Three of Pentacles. But this clarity is coming through for you, where right now there's like this confusion. You know, it's not just about your fears and stuff being projected outward. This is really not seeing any kind of solution or clear path forward. And this may be the breaking point for you, where you reach this kind of ending where you're like, okay, I see how I've been repeating this pattern. But it's coming from a place of, you know, this confusion, this disillusionment with the moon. Your hopes and your fears, the world. Wow. We want closure. We want closure. We don't want to keep going through this. We want that to be over. But you're wanting that successful completion. No more unfinished business. No more needing to constantly look for something that'll bring you that closure. You just want it to be done in a way where you can successfully move the hell on. Because there's no point in continuing to put in the effort and you don't even know what you're putting in the effort toward. And I feel like you're like, I'm doing the work, and then finally looking up and going, what the hell am I doing this for? I'm the only one here. And this just, it makes so much sense. And this new beginning is coming through in such a way where it's like, you know, Spirit comes in and just clears out all of this nonsense, all of this garbage that has been, you know, clouding you from seeing truth and clarity, right? And then calling out justice. This is, I feel like, you know, especially seeing these two, a lot of times this can speak to needing some kind of closure, but that's only coming through somebody being held accountable for an injustice, right? This is making amends. This is accountability, making fair and balanced choices. And I love when justice comes through, because to me it feels like this is the balancing out of a situation that has created this ridiculous imbalance, you know? And I don't think that you're looking for that kind of like apology or accountability from anybody. It's more of, okay, this is what my part was in it. And that's something that you may not have been seeing. And that's kind of like where this change starts to happen. But you have to act quickly. As soon as you look up and you go, what the hell am I doing this for? Immediately shift the energy, because that is the clarity that you need to break the cycle and the patterns of situations that end up needing to have justice come out. You know, we don't want to be in these kind of positions where there's this need to correct situations. But the world, right? Like, I'm done with it now. I need for it to be done for good. I don't want to repeat this pattern anymore. The Seven of Wands. The Nine of Cups. Oof. And then the Three of Wands. I love it. Perfect. Okay, so, and you know, I'm really loving how there's this vibe that's been going on here recently with certain signs where their energy and their power starts to show up. I love it. The Seven of Wands, we're talking about standing your ground, speaking up for yourself, right? And here again, there's this feeling of, I'm done with this, and let me explain why. And let me be clear about why I'm holding on to or withholding. And for some of you here with justice, this is like standing up for yourself in such a way where You're no longer confused about the things that you want. You know, I'm not going to back down from what wish fulfillment looks like from me or for me, right? Like you are getting clarity and knowing exactly what you want. That's because you've been putting too much effort into something that is just an illusion. You know, I can't get past this feeling of this instant kind of like, oh shit, I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time and effort. If you have been holding on to things from the past, obviously there is a reason. There was something wrong that took place that needed to be corrected. But it's not so much about needing to let it go, but to see how it's kept you putting in the effort into the same type of pattern, right? But I'm looking at you looking up now and finally understanding, you know, this is what I really want. I need to fix this situation for me. Never mind everybody else and what anybody else has done that has put you in this place where there's this wasted effort. It doesn't matter anymore because we don't want to keep that going. And again, with the Eight of Wands, things may have been flown in so many different directions for you. This is the opportunity now for everything to get right back on track where you need it to be. And it's not about needing somebody else to make this kind of accountability happen. This is you. This is what's going on with you. Your wishes being fulfilled after standing up for yourself. And with the Three of Wands, you're looking at what else is available. And now, where you were coming in with this holding on, you're kind of opening up and letting better things come into your life, where you're not having to put in this wasted effort over things that are not clear, that leave you confused. Like, why am I doing this? But I feel like you're moving into a place where, you know, things are going to be balanced out for you in such a way where you're going to be able to speak up for yourself, break this pattern, get exactly what you have been wanting. That's going to bring you that emotional happiness, right? But it immediately opens you up to what else is available, what else is possible for you. There are other pathways. There are other horizons for you to look forward to. And this could be you opening up to better experiences where you may have been shut off to the same things over and over again, right? But there's still that gut feeling of something has to change. Something has to change. You may have been dealing with people who don't even know what the hell is going on with them, but they're projecting that outward and are reflecting their own confusion onto you. And that may be where there's like this loss of faith and this inability to like see things clearly, but that clarity is coming. And it's coming in a way where you're going to notice it because you're going to start to see things repeating itself. Inner power, yep. Stuck. Something has to change. An expansion. Your inner power may feel stuck. Your inner power that creates this expansion in your life, the Three of Wands, right? Like that energy has been stuck within you, but as soon as you reach back to the Seven of Wands, right, that inner power, that energy will release and there will be this expansion that kind of happens for you. And I think it's going to happen quickly. There's like no hesitation with this. It's like the minute that you start to see the repetitive pattern in the cycle, immediately act. Look at the bigger picture. And then communication is key. So when you are communicating what you have experienced, what you expect, and what you want, make sure that you are mindful of the way that you are communicating that. Because you're looking at the bigger picture now. It's no longer this tit for tat. That's what I want to say. So when you are communicating your inner power, make sure that you're looking at, what the bigger picture for you is. This is really a powerful reading, and it comes through in minor ways, and then you have the majors showing up in full force. But you will notice immediately when this starts to shift, because with that Ace of Swords, it's clarity immediately, and it's going to look like, oh shit, I've been doing the same thing repetitively, and I don't even understand why. As soon as you start to feel that, that is where things are going to start to balance out for you. But be open to other experiences, because this may be something that you've been holding on to for quite some time.